What's going on, y'all? Machiavelli Mills TV. So, man, a young rapper by the name of Big Scarr. Is Big Scarr, is he from Memphis, Tennessee? Man, I had it in my head. I should have looked this up before I did the video. I believe he's from Memphis, Tennessee. Y'all can correct me if I'm wrong in the comment section below, or I'll come in the comment section and correct myself if I did say the wrong city. Right? Young rapper, affiliated with Gucci Mane. Affiliated with Gucci. He overdosed. He overdosed yesterday after taking a Perc 30 pill that was laced with fentanyl, right? So the young brother took a Perc 30 pill that was laced with fentanyl. He didn't know it was laced with fentanyl, I don't believe so, right? And he took it, and he overdosed and died from it. That's horrific. It's sad. It's again tragic. It's a tragedy for a family to have to mourn such a young man, dude in his early 20s. You know, such a young man ain't lived life yet or achieved the success that he possibly could have achieved in the rap game, right? Dies at such a young age, but he is a rapper in a long list of rappers who have died from drug overdoses. And even just excluding the rappers, man, young black men who are, and women as well, getting hooked on these drugs, taking these drugs that may be laced with this, laced with that, and then dying from it, right? I say this to say, man, young black men and women, y'all, leave them drugs alone. Everybody should leave them drugs alone. But as a member of the black community, who is still within the black community, who, you know, we're in an age where rappers glorify and promote drug usage. I'm going to say this, as a fan of hip hop music, y'all young brothers, leave them drugs alone. The shit is no good for you. You don't know what's laced in these drugs. Fentanyl, take a little bit of that fentanyl to kill individuals. Fentanyl done killed a lot of people in the last 2 to 3 years. Killed a lot of people. You don't know what's in these drugs, and I know Kodak Black say, I knew the Perc was fake, but I still ate it because I'm a gremlin. Yeah, it was a funny line. But when you think about it, ain't nothing funny about that. Taking drugs, you don't know what's in it, what it's laced with, ultimately meeting just ended up dying from it. Ending up dying, taking some drugs that you don't even know what's in it, nothing. Leave them drugs alone. Them drugs ain't no good for you. It's no good at all. Leave it alone in its entirety. It's not worth it. It's not worth it, man. Young brothers losing their life every other day from these drug overdoses. And rappers is acting like they don't even want to talk about, they don't want to down the drug usage because they don't want to be forced or shamed into stopping the drugs, but they should. Shame is good for society. Shame is needed because shame keeps a lot of immoral behavior intact. It keeps a lot of immoral behavior from coming out and rearing its ugly head. So shame is good. Shame is necessary for certain things, for drug usage, right? Again, all different type of things for people who steal and rob and so on and so forth. Those individuals should be shamed because it could possibly discourage the individual from doing those said things. So I'm all for shaming certain individuals for in a certain way with love. Let me say this. I'm all for telling the individual, and y'all got to stop doing these drugs, man. Look at what it's doing to y'all, man. Look at it. Got boys around Chicago walking around looking like zombies, doing everything in slow motion. They talk in slow motion. They walk in slow motion, right? I mean, do everything in slow motion. Look like their eyes blinking in slow motion. It's just like it's weird. It's not cool. I see young boys nodding off. Rappers nodding off in the studio, nodding off, just sitting there, and it's crazy. And I know it's because of this heavy drug usage. Kids dying for a high, dying to escape certain pains and the ills of the ghetto through drugs. Please try to escape it in another way. Whether it be music, sports, poetry, or just good old therapy. If it's covered through some insurance that you have, because in the ghetto, black folks can't afford therapy. They can't afford therapy. But if the insurance will cover it, please take some therapy if you need it to escape certain problems, certain negative conditions of the hood, certain crazy situations. Don't turn to drugs. Young brother lost his life. His career has barely even began. Big Scarr, man. Like that's crazy, man. Like I remember watching Raising Kanan, man, and he made the dope the wrong way, and all them drug addicts, the fiends, they all died, and I was just like, that happens to a lot of people. Person trying out how to mix a drug and how to mix it the right way. Kanan, of course, in Raising Kanan, mixed the drugs the wrong way. A whole lot of junkies were, or let me say the correct word, drug addicts died and overdosed from it immediately. Then his cousin, Jukebox, his girlfriend, took the drug and she died. She wasn't really even she wasn't no junkie. She did certain stuff occasionally and she even died. Right? And nobody saw that in the cards for her. So I say to say, man, like these drugs ain't got no name on it. You take the wrong stuff, you could be out of here in a split second, man. And then, people have children. I don't know if the brother had kids, but some of these people that have children, they're leaving on this earth. Some of them may have lost their mother already. Nobody gonna, sometimes, man, unless it's a grandparent or just a really, really good relative, a lot of these individuals ain't gonna love you like your parent could possibly love you. And it just leave people in terrible situations, young kids, because their parents are doing this drug and doing that drug, trying to experiment with things, man. Leave the experiments alone. It's not cool, man. Nobody want to be out here rolled over and lifeless because you wanted to enjoy a high. Leave it alone. I don't know, man. I done heard of too many fentanyl laced drugs and the person dying, reading about it on the news, hearing about it on news clips. I believe Michael K. Williams overdosed on something that I think it might have been fentanyl. Y'all can correct me if I'm wrong. It might have been fentanyl. Y'all know Michael K. Williams, the actor with the scar across his face. He used to be in The Wire to play Omar. But yeah, man, it's sad. But again, I see it all the time living in Chicago. A lot of young brothers, they can't even barely move, can barely function, can barely speak in sentences properly because they so high over these drugs. And you don't know what these folks putting in these drugs, man. These folks could be putting anything in these drugs and passing it to you. And a lot of people are putting anything in it and people are dying. People are really out here losing their life because of these drugs, man. So leave them alone, man. Because once you start on them, people get hooked. They can't get off of them. It's like fire. I done heard rappers tell scary stories about even trying to separate from lean. I'm talking about having bad, terrible stomach pains to, not being, man. I think constipated. I think, cold sweats and all that type of stuff. Body little shaking a little bit. All this different, it is all these different problems and issues people done had from doing these drugs. Body just going through all type of withdrawals. So I let you know, man, it's something going on with these drugs, whether it's the lean or the pills, but leave the drugs alone all the way. Because, yeah, man, I'm seeing a trend. I'm seeing a pattern. A lot of these drugs getting laced with that stuff, fentanyl, and it's getting brothers and sisters up out of here expeditiously, man. And then, like I said, rest in peace to Big Scarr. Condolences to his family, his loved ones, his fans. And, man, I hope better days are ahead for my generation and the youth under me, that black folks can separate from these perks. I remember it was a Molly thing going around. Brothers doing these pills. Leave it alone. Leave it all the way alone. And then the lean will be able to be separated from next. Leave all that shit alone. Because that stuff will send you to an early grave and have your parents weeping. And no parent wants to be here to see the death of their child. I repeat it again. No parent wants to be here to see the death of their child. A lot of parents want to be long gone before their children pass away. Nobody wants to be still living to experience their children's death. It hurts people in a different way. And so My condolences to Big Scarr. Rest in peace to the brother. Condolences to his family. Machiavelli Mills TV. I'm out. Peace. Y'all hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, stay rocking with me. I appreciate y'all tenfold.